What's up, guys? Welcome to the Dreamlands, and we are back with some more Deserts of Kharak multiplayer action. Today we are taking a look at a 3 versus 3 on Kalash Valley. So this is going to be a big game. This is a game that I played in the other night, and it was really cool, so I wanted to share it with you guys. And it's on one of the newer maps, which is a pretty interesting map. So let's jump right in. We'll do player introductions, we'll take a quick look at the map, and then we'll get into the action. So on Team 1, we are going to have myself, playing as the Knef. We are going to have Cassidy, playing as the Coalition. And we are going to have Mihu, playing as the Coalition as well. We are spawning on the south side of the map. On the north side of the map, we are going to have Empty Soul, playing as the Coalition, Cow of Shmau, playing as the Galcian, and Casual Male Extra Large, playing as the Galcian as well. So this is going to be a neat matchup. It'll be Coalition and Galcian versus Knef and Galcian. Let's take a quick look at the map here. This is Kalash Valley. And as you can see, it is literally a valley. You have this huge raised section on the right, as well as this large raised section on the left. In addition to that, both teams have spawn locations that are pretty close to each other, and all of your secondary and third resourcing sites are quite close by, so it tends to be pretty safe to do economic openers, and it lets you get your economy underway pretty quickly, and you tend to see a lot of really good macro matches on this map. Now both sides, the south side and the north side of the map, are very densely populated with dunes, as you can see, so the fighting can get pretty tricky on both the north and south ends of the map, when in the middle we have this big wide open area, kind of like a no man's land here. Now let's pop in and see what's going on. Now I've decided to go for a double production cruiser build. As you can see here, I'm building a second production cruiser, and I'm going to peck up to assault ships. I've sent my base runner out to grab an early artifact, and I'm going to send my 2 production cruisers into the middle of the map, start producing assault ships, and try and get a nice strong early position in the center here. And it looks like both teams have kind of gone for macro economic openers. You can see all of the different players have done mining from their secondary sites, and Team 2 is starting to produce a huge amount of light vehicles, and they're just streaming across the map. Looks like Casual has sent his first production cruiser out. He is producing a lot of sand skimmers, and he looks to come in for a raid on Cassidy's left flank here. However, Cassidy was able to deploy a couple of turrets, and this is going to be very effective pushing these sand skimmers off. Casual is going to have to retreat here before he suffers just a heinous amount of damage on his original forces here.
Carrier defensive weapons online.
And in mid, we can see that I've gone for a early grab on the artifact, and now Team 2 has spotted it, and they're moving in. I was able to avoid too much damage on my base runner by deploying the smoke. Now both of my production cruisers have moved into mid, and I'm just dropping assault ships right on top of these skimmers. See, this is going to be very effective at pushing them off. But on the back of this, Team 2 is looking to take a lead. They've got 2 artifacts. They've deployed a turret in the middle of the field. This is going to be very effective at guarding this. It looks like already, barely 3 minutes into the match, we already have savage fighting going on in the middle. I'm desperately trying to get this base runner in. Big blast drone hit here, and that was crucial in taking this initial engagement in my favor. Now this turret is going to cause a little bit of a problem for me. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to use my production cruiser to tank some of the damage, and it's working out not that well in my favor. I don't know if Empty is manually targeting with this turret, or if it's just smart enough to target the military lanes first here. But I'm going to get it down. Now I think he's forgotten about his base runner here. So it looks like I'm going to grab this, and that's a nice pickup for Team 1. However, Team 2 is about to drop off an artifact.
Advance and prosecute on site. Move to destination.
Now that I've cleared mid, I'm going to go drop off the artifact, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-1 in terms of artifacts, and a pretty even game so far. However, it looks like Team 2 is gearing up for a big push on the right flank. They're amassing a huge number of skimmers over here. They're probably going to try and prevent me from taking this. However, I have enough assault ships reinforced with my production cruisers, and that is not going to
Hostile
affect me.
forces have extracted an artifact.
And it looks like Mihu is moving his carrier right up into mid here. Has gotten some very early anti-air on the field. So he's looking pretty strong with AAVs and anti-air. And I'm continuing to push forward while I have the advantage in tech.
Enemy detected. Marked.
Looks like I'm going to get the artifact drop off, and I'm going to even it up here for a 1-1. But we have a very early gunship here.
Destination set. Move.
Coming out from Empty Soul.
Coordinates verified.
It could do some serious damage to these assault ships. However, it looks like it just went for an attack run, probably got scared off by Mihu's anti-air. Now went back to the carrier. Now I did drop off the artifact, but I managed to lose that base runner.
Engaging hostiles and prosecute on site.
And it looks like my forces, as well as Mihu's forces, are caught desperately out of position here. Our right flank is collapsing. We have skimmers right in among our resourcing points. That has forced Mihu and myself to bring our carriers back here and to try and deal with this.
Salvage, you're under attack. Maintain fire.
Now on the back of this, I've tried to go for a heavily economic focused opener. I'm getting my production cruiser refinery mode. I will be getting a third production cruiser shortly, and my intention with this is to have all three of these resourcing sites mining, so I can bring my carrier forward and start producing siege cruisers in the middle of the field. Now it looks like my production cruiser is in huge trouble. I'm not entirely sure why these sand skimmers pulled away. They could have easily taken that back, as my assault ships are quite slow, and they were halfway across the map. Nice mortar shot from Mihu here. But again, I like this from Team 2 here. They're maintaining a serious amount of map control with all of these light vehicles. They keep hitting the right flank and the left flank, trying to swoop around back, come in mid. They are all over the map, and it's actually doing a pretty good job in preventing us from pushing out with significant force into the middle of the map and securing ourselves that dominant position.
Salvager awaiting orders.
Let's take a quick look into the sensors manager here, and it looks like
Salvager awaiting orders.
Team 2 is already looking to secure their third resourcing site, so everybody looking very strong economically. Gearing up for a big macro game here. Now we have a turret going down mid. That is going to be a big problem. I should be able to handle that pretty handily with these assault ships. But look at this. Empty Soul being super aggressive. Now he has gone for a gunship rush directly into a super carrier build, and this is absolutely terrifying. This is what you do not want to see knocking on your front door at this early period in the matchup here. This is going to force me to pull back all of my units. My carrier spots it. I know I cannot face this in a direct confrontation, so I'm pulling back. And this is actually going to cause a huge problem for us. It can be extremely difficult to dislodge a carrier like this that's upgraded with how many levels of power does it have? It has a lot of power. It's almost maxed out in power actually, and that is very scary. And again, Team 2 with just the ceaseless aggression. They have been on us this entire game. I'm not entirely sure what Cassidy's doing. He seems to be pretty confident with his turrets here. He has turrets all over the place. Now this is pretty useful for securing our left flank. We don't really have to worry about that too much. But he's going to need to start producing some units right away here. Probably some railguns. It's Team 2. They are pushing for mid very hard. They are also picking up a second artifact on the back of this. And Empty's carrier is being very successful at pushing us back here. Now it looks like on the back of this, I've grabbed my base runner. I know that majority of Team 2 is pushing into the mid along the right side, or the left side, pardon me, so I've decided to try and sneak my base runner, grab an artifact and deliver it.
Enemy inbound. Confirm visual.
And again, Team 2 being very aggressive, camping mid hard. They're now going to deliver 2 artifacts on the back of this. I am desperately trying to do a little bit of damage with my carrier as I get my siege cruisers out onto the field. The first one has hit the field. Now this can be very effective at dislodging an entrenched enemy position like this with my Knef missiles as well as the siege cruiser. And Empty's carrier is doing a few backflips there. It's kind of a bug that you get occasionally. And now we have a huge swarm of air units coming in. Team 2 just going balls to the wall aggression. And look at this, they're going to clean up all of Cassidy's rails very nicely. It looks like we are a very tough spot here. And we have a cruise missile launch already. Brutal damage, and now look at this. Team 2 is in a seriously commanding position. They have absolute dominated the center of the map. They have absolute control of this position. My entire army and half of Mihu's army has been decimated by a cruise missile launch. There is just no way that we can push into this. Meanwhile, we have another wave of skimmers trying to collapse the right flank and do some economic harassment. Now Mihu has just spent the entire game trying to fortify this right flank from ceaseless aggression from Team 2. Team 2 looking very strong here. Now I was able to sneak in that artifact, so keeping pace just a little bit behind Team 2 in terms of artifacts. The problem that we have here is that we're just not able to push out, and we're not able to get a secure footing here on the map. Now we have another cruise missile launch, and this is coming from Cassidy. Big hit. That did insane amounts of damage to Empty's carrier, and now Empty is in a seriously bad spot here. He's going to have to get his carrier the hell out of here, and Cassidy is capitalizing on that damage and pushing out with his carrier. Looks like both of these players just kind of went for a super carrier build. But now we have a large number of assault railguns from Casual. Now he's focusing down Cassidy's carrier. Cassidy's going to have to pull back here. He needs to start producing a lot of railguns, and he needs to get his carrier back. However, that was a pretty nice hit, and a pretty nice push from him. I'm continuing to produce siege cruisers. We really need the artillery or some air forces to help dislodge this here, because this is continuing to be a problem for us. We are totally on the back foot this entire game, and as I mentioned before, Mihu is stuck on the right flank. He's unable to support us in mid because of this constant harassment. So Team 2 looking very strong here. Totally dominated the middle of the map. Now it looks like they're going to try and push in. They know that Cassidy is weak. They want to finish him off.
Bring us to new heading.
Artifact identified.
It's not looking good for Team 2, I gotta say.
Friendly unit engaging hostiles.
Artifact location.
He's been desperately trying to micro my carrier back and forth, evading the majority of the damage and using my missiles to weaken these forces enough that we can finally get a little window to push out, but it is not happening.
Combat alert. Control carrier is taking enemy fire. Move to grid. Enemy forces engaging cruiser. Hostile support cruiser detected.
Launching interceptor. Enemy forces have retreated.
We have another cruise missile launch, this time from Mihu. Not bad, not bad. We also have some interceptors.
Interceptors taking anti-aircraft fire.
Unfortunately, it's just way too much
Interceptor destroyed. Forces BT hostile scanner detected. Clear call. Tracking new targets on approach to hail.
I'm scrambling for tech here.
Friendly carrier taking fire.
We have located an artifact.
It looks like Mihu is finally able to secure the right flank. I've sent some assault ships over there, along with his AAVs and a couple of turrets. It looks like our right flank is finally secure. Cassidy has consistently been able to protect our left flank. Now it looks like a time when we want to push into mid here. Now Empty again getting a little overzealous with his carrier, pushed right in, and another cruise missile launch. This is insanity. We've now had like 4 nukes already.
Armored ship online.
But the time has come. We need to push. We have a couple carriers. We've We've got rail guns. We've got a siege cruiser here. But we are in trouble. Team 2 now has a 4-2 lead in terms of artifacts. And this strategy of theirs to just camp this site and put us on the back foot has been very effective, allowing them to basically deliver artifacts unmolested for the majority of the game. We've got a crazy battle going on mid here. It looks like Mihu has gone for artillery cruisers of his own. That's going to be very helpful. I've been suffering heinous casualties this entire game.
Taking new position.
Now it looks like these two carriers are... Well, it looks like I'm going to try and hump Mihu's carrier for a minute here.
Enemy scanner destroyed. Armored unit.
And it looks like Team 2 is going for the final artifact delivery. Now this has made this base runner instantly the single most important unit in the entire game. If it delivers this artifact, we have instantly lost. Now I'm just spamming missiles to try and kill it. We've got artillery barrages, we've got nukes. This battle is just completely bonkers. Now Cassidy has transitioned into air. It looks like he's going for mass air. We were successfully able to push this back finally. I just want to mention at this point that in a 3v3, you have so many units, and the maps are so big that there tends to be action over the entire map constantly throughout the map, or throughout the match, and there has been a ton of combat going on over here that I've missed, so I do apologize for that. It is literally impossible to keep track of everything and try and cast this game in an even somewhat reasonable way, so I'm kind of just focusing on the major engagements here. But I have been throughout this entire game sending out a large number of forces to try and push into our extraction zone, and it's just been a savage battle overall. But it looks like it's evened out a little bit. Team 1 and Team 2 are sitting on very strong economies. We now have a 4-3 for artifacts for Team 2. And both sides looking to just get that critical mass of units.
Engage on site.
And there looks to be a big engagement happening here in the mid. A huge number of railguns. Look at all these railguns. This is insanity. What they need to do is they need to get themselves on top of this dune here. It looks like we have a massive battle here. Tons of artillery. Four carriers in mid. 2 siege cruisers, 2 assault cruisers. We have anti-air. We have assault ships.
Course marked. Advance on that position.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I love 3v3, guys. Battles are just so intense.
Enemy scanner identified. Combat alert. Control carriers.
Look at the damage from that artillery. That is just insanity.
Enemy carrier closing on our position.
And another cruise missile here. We've got to start moving these units. I was able to survive with both of my siege cruisers. That's very lucky for me. And now Mihu is in big trouble, but he has got a point-blank nuke. Big hit there. And this is just absolutely bonkers.
Adjust course. Maintain fire. Friendly unit engaging hostiles.
I gotta say, these Knaff missiles are super, super fun. I've just been floating back and forth with my carrier, just unleashing missiles into the middle of the enemy constantly this entire game. And now it looks like finally Cassidy decides to join the fight. He's got a large group of railguns here. And now I've taken artifact and I'm looking to deliver it. But it looks like Cow has decided to push really hard with overwhelming force onto the right flank. He wants to prevent me from getting this artifact, and he wants to push us back in here. Empty and Casual have been unable to retake dominance of the middle of the map. Thanks to Mihu and myself with our endless rain of missiles. And it looks like we have another massive engagement now over the right side. Now this has forced me to bring my carrier back, you see? So this is actually a really good move. And you're likely to see Empty and Casual capitalize on that, because now that Mihu and I are on the right side, Cassidy is all by himself.
Allied vessel under fire. Barrage, target set. Fire. Cruiser taking hostile fire.
We have located an artifact.
constant missile barrages, constant artillery fire. Looks like I might lose this siege cruiser again. But nope. Thankfully, we were able to clean that up. Looks like Mihu is going to push along the right flank here and protect the artifact as I go for the drop-off. And now, Cassidy is in big trouble. Oh my, I seem to have missed that entire fight. A huge nuke coming out, massive amounts of railguns forming in. Cassidy is taking heinous amounts of damage. Look at that. It is 2 versus 1 on the side here. He is definitely going to have to retreat, and that has forced me to come back mid, trying to support him to the best of my ability with all of my artillery, my missiles.
Armored ship ready for service.
Huge battles here. And it looks like our left flank is definitely going to collapse. There is no way that Cassidy can hold this. And I have to stay mid. I can't go right because we need to deliver this artifact. We need to even it up because there are 2 artifacts now spawned on the field, and all Team 2 needs is one of them, and they will take the game. So now I have a massive amount of assault ships here. I've got several siege cruisers. I'm going to try my best to use my artillery and my missile barrages to hold the center at bay, while I send all of my assault ships to escort my base runner,
Enemy forces have retreated.
bring in the artifact for the delivery, and I'm going to try desperately to tie it up for a 4-4. Empty just loving his carrier pushes, man. All game, he is just poking in, doing serious amounts of damage, taking as much damage as he can possibly tank, and then backing out. He's got all of these support cruisers here, and it looks like Team 2 has gone for the artifact. Now this is a tough position to be in. Mihu and I spot it, and we have to scramble big time. We've got a nuke. This should take care of it.
Hostile forces have
Very
lost
nice hit.
artifact.
Very, very nice hit from Mihu. And we've just bought ourselves a few minutes now. There is only 1 artifact on the field. I'm now going to drop off our 4th artifact to tie it up. And it looks like the game is stabilized once again. That's another thing that's great about these 3v3s is it's just a constant back and forth, back and forth.
Ahead full. Course set. Move to Mars. Hostile scanner detected. Combat alert. Enemy carrier closing on our position. Hostile support cruiser detected.
But it looks like Casual is going for blood. Empty's backing him up, and they want Cassidy off of the field. They want to secure this left flank, and they're going to succeed. There's no way Cassidy can fight all of this by himself. He's lost his entire army at this point, and he's forced to retreat. We have a massive swarm of skimmers coming in here. That is just going to die in seconds. Oh my god. As Mihu and I double team Cow's carrier here. Now it's Cow's carrier getting humped. And this thing is in serious trouble. He has to get the hell out of here, like right now. A couple missiles and it will go down. And there it goes. That is a huge pickup for us. It is now a 3v2 in terms of carriers, but look at this. There is 2 artifacts left. One is so close to Team 2's extraction zone, and one is so close to our extraction zone, and we are both going for it. Team 2 has secured their extraction zone. We've secured ours, and we are both going for the artifact pickup, and it's now a race. It is a 4-4. Whoever gets this artifact wins the game after an insanely bloody fight.
Salvager under attack. They're receiving.
I'm just going to stay in the sensors manager here so we can keep tabs on these artifacts. And it looks like Team 2 is so close. I mean, the distance is pretty similar, but for some reason Mihu's carrier, or Mihu's base runner is not going directly for it. And it looks like Team 2 is definitely about to take this. Their base runner is seconds away from delivering the artifact, and we are in full panic mode at this point. But boom, nuke goes down. Boom, second nuke goes down. Now this is going to force Team 2's base runner to move back, and that is going to buy us literally the couple of seconds we need, but a huge nuke coming. The same strategy from Team 2, and look at this.
The vessel has extracted an artifact.
The base runner survives with like 40 hit points and like 10 seconds to spare. That was probably the closest, craziest game I've ever played. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope I caught as much of the combat as I could. That was an intense and crazy game. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.